This news update is brought to you by This is the Barbados Today morning update. I'm Dawn Paris. Hope you had a great weekend and thanks for joining us on this Monday, October 6, 2014. A call for pensioners and others waiting for the National Insurance Scheme checks the whole strain and an assurance that the delay has nothing to do with money problems. They're both coming from Barbados' largest trade union. General Secretary of the Barbados Workers Union, Tony Moore, who also sits on the NIS board, tells Barbados Today that contrary to rumors, the NIS is not short on cash. The NIS had said a hardware malfunction had prevented it from issuing payments, but it was working on the problem and checks should be in the mail by Friday. Moore insists it's a strictly technical issue and she has not received any complaints.
The National Insurance Department, they're working assiduously to seek to resolve it, and as soon as it's resolved, funds will be paid in good time. I know that there is some hesitation or some view out there that it may be related to financial issues more so, and it is not our understanding at this time that that is the case. Strictly a technical issue that needs to be resolved. As far as I am able to understand, everything is on stream to get it resolved in due course.
Have you been receiving any complaints from some of your members who are pensioners?
No, not as yet. I don't know if my officers have been hearing, but personally it has not reached my level.
Moore was speaking to Barbados Today before the start of a service at the White Park Wesleyan Holiness Church to mark the 73rd anniversary of the founding of the BWU yesterday. Police are investigating a break-in at the St. Barnabas Anglican Church. Rector Reverend Mark Harewood says the culprit broke into his office, the vestry and the altar between Saturday night and early yesterday morning and got away with at least a computer.
The lady who opens the church, she told me about 6 o'clock, and now the first service is at 6:30. So it's difficult now to find out exactly what has been stolen, but I know for certain that the computer is gone. I just have to now go through the rank shop office to see if there's anything else.
Reverend Harewood tells Barbados Today it's the 4th time in his 11 years at St. Barnabas that the church has been broken into, and that's not counting the 2 occasions that solar panels were stolen from the roof. He says it's distressing.
Here there's people coming to church and they want to worship, and they're seeing that first thing in the morning. It's not a good feeling. I think any person, regardless, not only the church, but if you come home and find your place ransacked, you feel violated. Just that in this instance, it's not just one household member or a family, it's a larger gathering, and they view their church as a house of God, and they're going to feel distressed.
Still with crime news, a 55-year-old housekeeper and a 28-year-old man will appear in the Old Town Magistrates Court today on cocaine charges. Joy Lorette Graham and Shane Michael McCarthy, both of Checker Hall, St. Lucie, were arrested when the drug squad executed an operation in the north of the island. They're facing charges of trafficking and possession of 2 kilos of the illegal drug. McCarthy will also answer an additional charge of committing acts preparatory to supplying cocaine. The Board of Directors of the Barbados Cricket Association meets today, and the situation surrounding the conviction of CEO Jefferson Miller in the United States will be on the agenda. The meeting comes days after Barbados Today broke the story that Miller had been convicted for grand theft in the U.S. earlier this year and is currently on probation. Repeated efforts to reach members of the board have so far been unsuccessful.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Hi, I'm Red Plastic Bag. Anyone who knows me knows I don't like cold. Sunshine reigns in my country. I love it.
Get your sun power.
Left arm spinner Suleiman Ben has been called up to the West Indies one-day squad for the series against India, which begins on Wednesday. He replaces Sunil Narain, who was withdrawn from the series after he'd been reported for a suspect bowling action twice at the recently concluded Champions League T20. In regional news, Jamaica's Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller, well, her popularity appears to be taking a plunge. According to a Gleaner-commissioned Bill Johnson poll, most Jamaicans, 73%, believe the country is heading in the wrong direction under her leadership. And this is despite successes the country has made under an IMF program. The poll says Jamaicans believe opposition leader Andrew Holness would actually do a better job than Simpson Miller. We turn our attention to Rome now. Pope Francis opened a gathering of more than 200 senior Roman Catholic bishops by urging them not to impose what he termed intolerable moral burdens on believers. The synod is discussing the church's position on controversial issues, and the bishops will be joined by lay Catholics to debate abortion, contraception, homosexuality, and divorce. The synod will last 2 weeks. And that's where we end our morning Barbados Today update. We'll be back at midday. But remember, you don't have to wait until then to get the latest news and sports. Just log on to www.barbadostoday.bb. Subscribe to our e-paper and our email updates, and like us on Facebook. You can also catch us on Izumi Media in bus terminals and on Screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you, and of course on Channel 101 on Lime TV. So many ways to get your news and sports. I'm Dawn Paris. Have a good morning, and don't forget to tune in to our afternoon update.
This news update is brought to you by